Hello everyone, this is Chess Banana for another episode of the lichess bot series. Today we're going to play against Demolito level 4 with a rapid rating of 1639. So let's do the usual 1510. Okay, so we have the black pieces d4, knight f6, that's what I'm most familiar with. c4. Okay, so c5 is a serious option here. c5, what else? d5 is not a good move, I think, because d5, the problem is there's this. Then I get kicked around. c5, going into the Benko gambit is a possibility. What else could we do? We could also play a Grünfeld perhaps, or something like that. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so now we can play into a Grünfeld if our opponent allows it. Okay, so we have a Grünfeld. So he's going to take, of course, with the pawn. So the idea, the Grünfeld's a bit tricky and double-edged, and I don't know how to play this well myself. But the general idea is you want a bishop here, aiming at this diagonal, and eventually this rook. Well, mostly the tactical targets are this rook and the c3 pawn. So he's going to take on c3. So he's going to do this. Then I think we do this first. Okay. With the idea of c5. But first, let's see. Do we have any opportunities? Anything? Any checks, captures? No. Okay. Can he do anything? No. Okay, bishop g7. Next, we want c5. Unless, of course, we find something concrete that gains anything. So what's he gonna do? I don't know. I'm expecting moves like this or this. That's actually bishop e3 is a good way. Bishop e3 with the idea of moving the rook here is a good way to get out of all the diagonal problems and reinforce this pawn while removing the alignment. Okay, completely unexpected. This is not bad. I mean, he's still hitting this pawn. He's also controlling here. What could he be doing with that? Could he be aiming for something like this? I think I just castle and that's okay. Or does he want to set up something like this? Sure, it prevents my bishop from developing, but this is not really helpful. I think I just develop. The only question is, can I afford to do this with my king in the center now? The problem is, after this, I don't have bishop takes c3 anymore. Okay, I think the point of this move is to defend c3. So a lot of the tactics of the Grunfeld in the opening rely on this c3, so this pawn is immobilized. But I think that queen move takes care of it. I think now we just need to try to challenge the center, because our biggest deficiency is the center. The problem is he's going to start pushing like this, and that can be really hard to play. So that's what I want to do. The problem is he can just push. Then I can't do this. Gets tricky. He's probably just going to develop moves like this, I guess. This. I don't know. Just normal developing moves. I'm expecting something. Yeah, okay. Okay, so the annoying thing with this queen is we can never really move the bishop. So let's see, do we have any checks, captures? Nothing. Any tempo move on the queen? That's not gonna help. Can we just develop like this and allow that? With the idea of going here? Then what? Let's say he takes. Am I happy with that? I'm not so sure. This, can he do this? Yes. Should I be worried? Then he can support the pawn. That becomes really annoying already. I'm not so sure. There is still that rook at the end of the line. Okay, maybe we can afford... There's just one thing I didn't calculate. What if he just takes and tries to hang on to the pawn? Can he really do that? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, his idea will be to play like this. It won't be easy to get this pawn back. I probably should be able to at some point, but another option is to go here. Maybe later play there. Okay, maybe that's more prudent. Although this weakens the light squares, could this be a problem? Not really. Okay, I think this is a prudent move. Perhaps not the most ambitious. Perhaps c5 was the most ambitious and most precise, but I'm just not sure if he plays bishop e3 how I get the pawn back. I think you just have to play this kind of thing more long term, you know, play a pawn down and just know that in the endgame these pawns will be weak. Because they would have been double isolated pawns here, so it's, in a way, it doesn't really count as an extra pawn because once we simplify in an endgame, I can get it one way or another. So I want this, and then perhaps this, perhaps. So what's he gonna do to prevent it? Okay, so he does that. So what does he want? Long castle. This is really suspicious. Can I just do this? If this, I have an isolated pawn, but what? In theory, he's got his king in the center. In practice, how do I attack him? He's gonna castle. As weird as it looks, I don't have time. I can't attack him for the simple reason that my pieces aren't ready. So I think this, develop with tempo, just patient move. He probably does this. And then I can do this, maybe? No, not even. Because this hangs at the end. Okay. So perhaps this first. Okay, I think this is fine. Let's start with that. And we'll see. Okay, let's just be conservative. Look at the weaknesses that we have. Everything, all pieces are defended, which is nice, but this one and this one are obviously misplaced. They need to be improved. And I need to somehow stake a claim in the center in order to make squares for my pieces to move to. Because if I just moved, obviously it's not my turn, but let's say if I do this, I can get chased around. So I guess I can do that. Okay. Actually, this is a move. Because what does he do? Let's say he does this, and I do that, offer a queen exchange. Okay, he can be slightly annoying, but that doesn't really go anywhere. Okay, the other option is moving the knight. So here, do we want to be exchanged on a6 and have a loose bishop at the end of the line? Sorry, a loose knight. A loose bishop at the end of the line. Thing is, what if he doesn't take and he just says, yeah, okay, you have a knight on a6, good for you, I'll just leave it there. Then what's my plan? This. And again, what if he just ignores me and I'm just stuck there with my silly knight? Am I happy with that? Not so sure. Perhaps this simple plan. No tricks, I think it's safe. Okay. And now we're using the queen to support c5 or maybe e5. The only thing with e5 is he can play d5 and block my bishop, but then I have c6. I think I can start chipping away at his center with moves like c5 or e5. Yeah. I think that's starting to go in the right direction for me. I think objectively white is still better, but because I probably misplayed this. But situation is going back in control now. Okay, so I think I have a tactic, which is that if c5 he can't takes because this hangs, which means that c5, yes, he has this. Mildly annoying, because if this, do I want to get into this? It's probably fine. It's probably an equal endgame there. Do I want that? Not sure. What about this? Knight takes, bishop takes, and he can't take. Okay. So this, he can't take it. With this, the same idea. It's just that if he does this, then now I have this. And I think this is a bit better because I don't have this queen exchange on e6 at the end of the line. Perhaps this. But what if he really insists with something like this? This, let's say this. I'm not sure I'm getting anything there. Although at the end I might have ideas of pushing this way. Okay, that might just do it. Can also do that with the same idea. If this, I just take it. Just need to make sure there are no tricks, because my queen is extremely misplaced here. Something like this, trying to go for this. I don't like this knight d7. Just feels, if he does something like this, I'll have time. I just don't like this, but okay. This, what did we say? This, and we don't like. So this, and he can do this. Okay, let's try this, but I'm not so sure. This queen is just lacking retreating squares, so that's a recipe for queen traps. I just have to be able to play something like c5 or e5 in the next move. Ideally e5 actually. Yeah, I need e5, not c5, for the reasons already mentioned, which is he's going to do this. I've been way too slow, 11 moves, 8 minutes 30 left. That's just too slow, I need to start moving faster. Okay. So all that for naught, because he just gives me a free pawn. He can't take back, I believe. Wait. Takes. If he takes here, of course, I win a piece, so that's good for me. Takes. If he takes like this, I take with the bishop, and he can't take again. Any intermediate tricks? Like, what could he could move this annoying bishop? Like, what if this? He can't move it with. He can do something like that. No. This is check, so he can't insert any tricks because this is checks. Okay, I think this is the key concept. Because it's check, it cuts all the tactics. He cannot have intermediate moves because it's check. Since his bishop can't check me, he can't wiggle out of this one. Okay, so I won a pawn. And the central pawn, which is extremely important. The biggest problem with the Grünfeld, especially the way I played it, is the lack of space in the center. So I think that's extremely helpful. Notice that I've got a threat on h2 here. So I think he has to defend that. Obviously he can't take my bishop. Well, he can. It's an exchange. I guess he can. Okay. So I can't just take. Takes. No. Queen c6. Queen c6 is a mistake because of d5, and I've got two pieces hanging, as you can see here. What else is a mistake? This, because of the queen exchange, you know, even though it threatens a mate here. I think we just need to be humble here and go back to g7. And just say, okay, I have an extra pawn. Let's not be over ambitious. Let's try to build up on that. I still want c5. c5 is still an idea because of this pin. But what does he want? Especially when you have a winning position, the most important thing you should ask yourself is, what does your opponent want? How can they swindle you, essentially? Because in the absence of that, you're going to win by simplifying and gradually taking control of the board. Okay, so no more tricks on g2. So because that actually would have forced a queen exchange because of the mate threat. So he's dealing with that in a way. Could I use tactics on the queen? Not really. I think back to this. Hitting this one twice. What can he do? Any tricks? I don't see. I think it's fine. What else can I... Takes... Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay. That should be fine. Hope so. So obviously he can't take because we would take the bishop. Can even pre-move it, since the move only becomes legal if he takes. So let's try to anticipate our opponent's reply here. So he's not going to take, but he's probably just going to play a developing move. Perhaps he's going to try to defend that bishop, or defend that pawn, like bishop. Okay, okay, this is weird. Doesn't really do anything. I think a better move would have been this, I guess. But okay, so if he takes, what do I gain here? If he takes back, then bishop takes, wins an exchange, so that's good for me, no tricks. So I think he can't really take back. Of course, the other move would be this, to contest the file, but I think this is more to the point. Any checks, captures? No, I think this one. Apart from, I mean, this capture is obviously the one that I'm interested in, but I'm just scanning for any other potential tactics. That just wins a pawn because he can't take back, I believe. And let's hope I'm right. So if he can't take back, then what does he do? He can move the king out of the way in order to be able to take back. He can... what can he do? He can move the rook out of the way. But then I'm still... Okay. Should I take this? Because what's the point? If I take this, he takes with the bishop, and then what? We exchange bishops? Is that good for me? Not really. I want him to take me so that he loses an exchange. He can't take me. So I think I should just try to increase my advantage like this. And then if he takes, not only he loses, but I can insert this first to exchange a rook. And then this. I think this is good for me. What else can I do? Okay, that should be enough. I mean, at some point, you know, enough is enough. You don't need to be a perfectionist and try to find the most precise way. If you find a way that gains a winning advantage, and if it looks simple and safe, just go for that. They may be more precise, of course. But there's also the constraint of time and avoiding blunders. So we want positions to be easier to play. Removing as many pieces as possible here. Okay. I don't think this does anything. I mean, even if we allow this, so what? We just take, sorry, we take back. I mean, you get the point. It's not really a threat. I don't really see a threat here. I mean, could he do something with this bishop here? I don't think so. I mean, yeah. It's in the alignment, but this is not moving anytime soon. I think we just take. But what's the point of taking? Because if we take, he takes here. What have we gained here? Because we're gonna have to exchange. We're gonna have to exchange this, all that for a pawn, and we lost our fianchetto bishops. Somehow I feel like this is worth more than this. And the fact that he can't take is kind of annoying for him. So maybe I should first try to improve my position. Can I do this first? Thing is, now he can take. Yeah, now he can take. But now I also have a passed pawn. Okay, honestly, I don't really know. But e5 was worth investigating. Perhaps e5 was more precise. The issue with this is bishop takes c3. And I'm going to have to exchange this bishop. Although at the end of the line I see something, which is that if I take, he has to take with the bishop. Then I can deflect this queen, and then I have this. And he has this, of course. Oh. Yeah, not that simple. Does that mean I should start with this? Because if I take his rook, no, sorry. No. He made a mistake here. He's giving me a free exchange. Because the rook I don't take with the rook, I take with the bishop and I win in exchange. It's not, after this I just stop there and I won an exchange. I don't need to continue with rook takes c3. What am I doing? On the other hand, there is a point to what he's doing, because yes, he's giving me an exchange, but now he's got the dark square bishop, and I don't have a dark square bishop, and I have holes on the dark squares around my king, so I still need to be careful. But I think I want to make this idea work. Is this a good move in itself? Even if I can't force anything there, just do I want to do that? Because does that improve my bishop? I guess it removes a pin, and then this, what do I don't care, I don't care. Can he do something? Okay, I think that looks like a safe move. I'm removing a square for his king and for his rook. So if I could land a queen on d1, that would be the jackpot. Of course I can't because of his queen, so perhaps my plan is rook d8. Perhaps my plan should be something like this. But what is his plan? His plan is probably going to be to hope that I blunder and checkmate me. I think that's just his only plan, really. So I think I go for this and force a queen exchange. That's just what I want. Should I sack the exchange back? Does that give me anything? Then I have this check. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is very nice, actually. If I take here, there's no trick here, of course, because, yeah. Oh, this is nice. I give an exchange and I get it back. If takes, queen d1 check, and he can't go back here, of course, with the queen. And the point is that I removed this option. Actually, it's even worse because it's going to be mate. So I think I just take like this. I don't think he can take. Because if he takes, queen d1 is just deadly. I don't think he can take the rook. And if he can't take the rook, then he may as well resign. So I think that just ends the game. I hope. Exactly. Okay, so what do we want? We want a rook here. That would just clean things up nicely. Do we force a queen exchange with this? Not really. He can probably still move. I don't know. Let's say he does this. What am I threatening? Yeah, actually his queen is tied to the back rank. So if we do this, he could do this. We don't really force the queen exchange. I think we want this. Yeah, and we just want to threaten this. So bishop b3 looks like the move. But that's okay. I mean, I don't need to checkmate. I just need to force liquidation somehow. So bishop b3, can I force an exchange thanks to that? Can I just do this? I think that should be, yeah, bishop b3 only move. Can I do this, deflect the queen, and then what? Then nothing. Okay. Annoying. Can I do this? Because if he takes this, and then no, he cannot. Yeah, I think this he can still do this. Oh, this is annoying. And then this, and what have I achieved exactly? I'm not sure. May as well do this right away. Because what I've achieved is put the bishop undefended here. It's not clear that it's useful. I think we just want to get rid of a rook at least. And once I remove his rook, I think it should be much easier because I can access his king. I need to be able to check his king. That will really be a game changer. I think he has to take. Okay, he can do that, but this is great for me, I think. So again, I can't go here, but I can just do this. Then it's gonna be a grind. It's not completely over. But okay, let's just simplify. Perhaps a rook check here will be powerful. So perhaps the next step after he does say this is going to be that. Threatening this. Queen check, not possible. I still can't get to his king, but the way I... Can he do something if that... No double attacks, no tricks with this battery. You never know, like a battery hitting here could be strong. I have to be mindful of this. Mindful of a battery queen bishop hitting this and then creating a double attack on something else. That's a great way to get swindled. So my threat is rook c1. Bishop takes, queen takes. I hope there's no perpetual. I don't think there can be. No, because I'm going to block the light square diagonal easily. At the very least with okay. So again, he defends. Okay, but the thing is that now I have this. And this guarantees a queen exchange, and now it's so much easier. Plus my rook is on the light square, so no harm can come to me. Now this is an easy win. Now there's much less to calculate. Should be really easy. But still, I think we need to display some technique. So his only piece is a light square bishop, which means that my pawns should be on light squares, at least around my king, where he can start annoying me with checks. So this has to be the next move, paving the way as well for the king to centralize. Unless I can obtain something more direct, like for example this first, gaining a tempo and cutting the king. Because I'm cutting the king, I think that's quite helpful. Okay, I think I can insert this. First cutting the king. So it's an improvement on the previous plan of just going for this. I will do it later. On the next move I will do this. Unless of course he blunders and gives me a piece. Okay, now that's even better because the move I want to do is now gaining a tempo, so that's great. That's what I wanted to play. So thanks for giving me a free tempo. Now my king should centralize here, things like that. My king is horribly misplaced. Also, actually another option could be to go after this one via this, except we can't because of that. So I think we just go here, he can't threaten anything. F5 we can play later. Let's first get the king to e7. No need to try to win quickly, just winning comes by simply improving your pieces until you win the game. I mean, until the game wins itself, basically. So no need to overdo it. Improve the king. What is my worst placed piece? The king. Okay, this is, what does that do? Does it threaten anything? No. Okay, so I just continue my plan. I mean, what's he gonna do? Move his bishop around? Because I've cut his king, there's not much he can do. I mean, at some point I can also attack this with the rook if I want. So he's gonna have to defend it like that, but then, well, obviously right now he can't. So that means if I do this, he loses the pawn. That's one. In fact, this is a fork. So that guarantees the win of 2 pawns. Yeah, I want to promote on a dark square probably. So yeah, this, and the promotion square is here. No tricks because I'm on a light square. So careful. Here I have this. Okay. Plus I also have rook c2 to pin the bishop. Actually, I have rook c2 to win the bishop. So bishop e2 is a mistake. Bishop e2, rook takes e2. And not rook takes a4, which still wins, but I think winning the bishop is even stronger. Okay, so now that I've given him a 3rd rank to operate on with his king, he's taking advantage of that. It makes sense. I previously had cut him on 2 ranks, now you have 3 ranks. But it's okay, now I have an extra pawn. And now my pawns are passed and connected, so I just need to start moving them. It's just that it takes a bit of time, but okay, first let's just clean up everything. There's no need to rush, just clean him up. Clean him up, remove any threats. In fact, if he does nothing, I can just sack the exchange and simplify the game. I'm quite happy here to just do this. Let's do that. Yeah, I could probably do better than that, but who cares? This is more than enough. It's just... now I can literally pre-move. There's just nothing he can do. I mean, this, he's still in the square, of course, but I can do this and just use both pawns like that. I don't even need my king to win the game. I think I can just push these 2 pawns. And that's it. I don't even need king, bishop, just the pawns themselves. The fact that his king's going to have to run around chasing one and the other, he can't collect both pawns at the same time. There are a million ways to win that, but I think that's an instructive way. So let's say if he goes after this one, and this one goes to promotion. So if he goes here, I think I just do this, and if he takes, I do this, and it's over. So I just give him a pawn to promote the other one. Of course, I don't have to. I can defend, but I can do that. But so if this, first of all, it's check. He can't even come here. And if this, he can't take because I promote. So let's do that. He's still gonna take because what else can he do? But yeah, should be easy now. Yeah. I wish they could resign sometimes. Okay, so I think we can we pre-move this? Is it safe to pre-move? Yeah, I think this pre-move is safe. There can be no stalemates here. But we don't need to pre-move, we don't need to take any risks. Now we just need a checkmate. So what's the simplest checkmate is king and queen. No need to try to be fancy and try to accelerate the checkmate by using the bishop in combination with the queen. If anything, you're most likely to stalemate by trying to be too clever. So I think just take squares away from the king, pushes king in a corner on the edge or something like that, and eventually mate with the queen. You don't want to make two queens. I don't think two queens is helpful. First of all, it takes quite a few moves, and secondly, it again is counterproductive because it increases the risk of a stalemate by controlling more squares. So yeah, I can bring the king here and then push him around, or I can do this and this. Okay, let's bring the king first, because he's gonna move here, and queen and bishop will not be enough. I'm gonna have to bring my king forward. Well, it's not that it's not enough, but if you use only queen and bishop without the king, it's more difficult. It's really more difficult, and you don't want that. So let's remove any escapes like that. Yeah, we don't want to allow any escape. We want to make sure he cannot move forward, and we just want to cut him as small as possible. Cut him into a rectangle that's as small as possible. I think that's the rectangle right now. So let's see. Okay, now we can cut the rectangle a little bit shorter again by removing the third rank. Of course, we can pick up the pawn maybe after that, but this is really missing the point. We're gonna have to navigate the king in here to deliver the checkmate. So simply move the king forward. I can probably pre-move king f4 as well. And if he pushes the pawn, I just don't care. I'll just exchange it. Let's pre-move king f4. Okay, finally I'm gonna cut him on a 2x2. Yeah, there are probably faster checkmates. Okay, so this is stalemate. No, it's not, sorry. It's not. He still has this. Oh, interesting. Need to be careful. This, he only has this square for the king, but he can move this, okay? So if he does this, here he has to move the pawn and then mate, so that's one option. I mean, the simple option, to be honest, is this. And the king can only go here. Moving the pawn doesn't matter. Yeah, and the unstoppable mate is here. Yeah, okay. Million ways to victory, but I think this is probably the simplest. And we want queen f1 mate no matter what he does. Okay, GG. Let's have a look at the analysis. This was quite a long one, so I'll try to keep it short, focusing only on mistakes. But of course, you should go a bit deeper than that in your own analysis, ideally, trying to understand the inaccuracies with the help of the computer. So what? No mistakes found for what? Oh, we didn't make any mistake. Oh wow, we only made 2 inaccuracies, 95%. Okay, that was a clean game. Well done.